never know what Coach Colombo has up his sleeve. He's a tricky guy sometimes.
Nothing's guaranteed. We saw a couple of plays at this point in the field in the first game and didn't convert.
Touchdown. Rudy Harris. Literally vaulted into the end zone in the arms of a Woburn player. 6-0 Brockton.
1st and 10 from the 15. Campbell following the block of Harris. Tries to break outside. He does. He's to the 10. He's got some room. He may be in. Touchdown.
You know, that's how you put that on the blackboard that way, Tim.
The appreciation that the kids get from accomplishing something that they set out to do a long time ago, the looks in their faces and everything else about it is very special, very unique, and positively very, very special.
Which horse do you carry? And it won't matter. Well, I thought we were going to have a whistle. Going long, going for Rocco. He's got it. He's got it. He's down to the 20-yard line. Zrinskis on the 1st and goal. Gives to Harris. Rudy's across the 5. Touchdown.
You realize now, listen, when you see that on replay, Tim, you'll see that 4 people hit Rudy Harris. He had a good block at the line of scrimmage, opened the hole, and then 4 people had a shot at him.
Very nice. Zrinskis gives off to Harris. Showing some speed, showing some end zone. Oh, he's got one guy. He won't get him. Touchdown, Rudy Harris.
That play started on the 25-yard line, the 25-yard run on top of Rudy's 110 to 135 for the day.
3 touchdowns.
I would say that the game is over for all practical purposes.
There's something he can tell his grandchildren about. It's all over. Armin Colombo, the victor. Career victory number 209, if you believe the stats. And the Boxers hand the Woburn Tanners a 28-0 clinic.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fall River, Massachusetts in Durfee High School for tonight's ball game between the Brockton Boxers and the Hilltoppers from Durfee. First big test for the Boxers and Durfee in the Big Three conference to see who has the right to go to the Super Bowl. This will be step number 1, a big ball game for the Brockton Boxers. I'm Bob Sondheim calling the play-by-play. Miles Jackson along with me tonight. And Miles, a beautiful night for football, number 1. The setting is absolutely perfect. Good crowd on hand, still coming in through the turnstiles. And this is a big game, especially for the Brockton Boxers, bouncing back from a defeat at the hands of Fitchburg, 28-14. They've had a week off. They've had a lot of practice, a chance to get ready and get healthy, which is very important, too. A big test tonight.
Yes, indeed, Bob. As it's a big game because it's a division foe. Durfee's in the division with Brockton, New Bedford. So, and like you said, they've had a week off, and I'm sure these guys are ready to hit somebody out there on the gridiron this evening.
Oh, you know that. Well, Durfee comes into this ball game, another fine record that Brockton has faced all year long. They've only had one setback. They beat Taunton 13-7, defeated Falmouth 35-7. Their lone blemish, a loss to Bishop Fee 14-zip. They came back to beat Dartmouth 7-0, and last week defeated Somerset by a 42-0 whitewash. So they have given up a total of 14 points all year so far. So they are to be reckoned with. However, the question is their schedule. Have they played anybody of the caliber that Brockton has faced this year? And that's going to be the question.
Exactly, Bob. Had they played anybody, and this will be a good test for the Hilltoppers of Durfee High. They're a big team. They like to hit, and as you know, their record shows it. They're 4-1. So, and Brockton's 4-1, so we should have an exciting football game this evening.
Two very interesting players. One you're more than familiar with, Robert Charles Whitaker, wears number 80 for the Brockton Boxers, has 48 points in the season, one of the leading scorers, but also Manny Goburn wears number 89. He comes out of the backfield, has 8 touchdowns, 48 points himself. Justin Kogler, who also does all the kicking for this squad, has 4 touchdowns, 7 points after for 31 points. Manny Goburn also rushes averages about 5 or 6 a game. His last effort, 16 rushes, 122 yards for a 6.8 average. Not too shabby. On defense, look for Dan Bertoncini, the leading tackler for the squad. We'll take time out right now to honor America with the playing of the national anthem. Now the playing of the national anthem by the Durfee band. Both bands here tonight, and they'll both be performing at halftime, so we'll look forward to that. Very similar color schemes. If you've been with us, of course, the red and black Hilltoppers with white trim. And, of course, Brockton with their road uniforms with the white with black and red trim tonight. And, of course, Armin Colombo back on the track of looking for win number 302. But the most important thing, of course, he's thinking Super Bowl, as is this team. And certainly to do that, they have to get a win against Durfee tonight. New Bedford so far this season through the first 5 games with a so-so record of 2-3.
Yes, indeed. Coach Colombo he's more concerned, again, with this win this evening. He takes it step by step, game by game. Statistics are nice, but like you said, the game is more important than the number of victories for Coach Colombo.
As you see, Brockton will receive the football starting off the ball game tonight. Justin Kogler, who does all the kicking, wears number 35, and he'll be teeing it up. Robert Charles Whitaker should be one of the deep men. He is up top, number 80. And also back with him, number 23, Brandon Hill, as is typically the case, is his mate back there on the kickoff. So we're all set to go, 11-minute quarters. And just an absolutely perfect night for football. And what wind there is really blowing in our face. It's a crosswind coming across the field. So it really doesn't favor either team in any of these quarters thus far. All set to go. Kogler approaches the ball. We're underway. A line drive kick grounded to an up back. And picking the ball up is James Jackson. And Jackson rolls his way out. Actually, decent field position for the Boxers out past the 30-yard line, where they obviously try to kick it away from Whitaker.
Yeah, one of the keys for Brockton tonight is their go-to man, Charles Whitaker. Hopefully he's healthy. He's had a couple weeks off. And hopefully he can get back into things, and hopefully he can stay healthy this whole game.
Well, that's the thing. And, of course, Brockton had a chance to try to get some people better. And with the week off, that's also a factor as well. James Jackson will start in the backfield. 50 rushes this year, 287, 4 touchdowns, and a 5.7 nifty yards per carry average. And, of course, all eyes on Robert Charles Whitaker. 8 catches, 212 yards every time he catches the ball, an average of 35.3 yards per catch. Kershaw, one of the leading quarterbacks in Division I football, 8 touchdown passes to his credit with Whitaker in motion. A first down. Kershaw rolls, looks back, pass to Jackson. He's swamped in the backfield for a loss. And making the play down there is number 6, Danny Brow.
Yeah, that didn't fool Danny. He stayed right with Jackson there. He read that screen pass very well.
Loss on the play all the way back to the 25-yard line, about a loss of 8 on the play. Maybe they'll mark it at the 26. So a heads-up play by Danny Brow defensively, staying home. Kershaw spun out to his left and then reversed his motion back to the right and a planned screen pass, and Brow stayed home, as Miles told you. Now we have Whitaker flanked out wide left along with Emmanuel. They'll work out of the eye. And we have a whistle. This will deny the play, probably a penalty on the offense.
Yeah, good point, Bob. Usually when they stop the play, it's usually 95%, or almost 100%. It's the offensive, as you can see, a
legal procedure call. No exception this time. Our referee marks it back. So Brockton heading in the wrong direction, back to the 21-yard line. As we are just underway, Brockton with the first possession of the football. But the ball marked back after the penalty, and the loss on the first play, the screen pass. And now Brockton working out of a hole back at its 21-yard line. Very glad you could be with us here on Brockton Community Television. Miles Jackson, Bob Sondheim, happy to bring you the game. And, of course, on the road, we just have one camera shoot, so we do not have our replay tonight. Here's a handoff to Jackson. Nice hole right side. Works his way, still grinding those legs. Back out near the 30-yard line. A pick of about 8 or 9 on the carry.
Yeah, James Jackson's the type of runner. He dishes out punishment. As you can see from there, he put his shoulder down and actually gave some punishment to that defensive team of Durfee.
Well, we'll give him 7 on the play. They'll mark it out at the 28-yard line. And it's a second down situation. Excuse me, third down situation, obviously. Third down after the screen pass, the penalty, and the nice gain by Jackson. Let's see if Kershaw puts it up. Split the backs behind him in the backfield. And Kershaw will throw the ball, the first pass of the evening, and intercepted. Intercepted over there by number 4, Taylor Brown. The safety brings it back, and Brockton in a hole already as Taylor Brown, the safety, who goes both ways, also the starting quarterback, picks it off and brings it back inside the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it down. We'll try to get the spot for you.
Yeah, that was a tough pass by Kershaw, and it was a tough, unfortunate play because Patrick Emanuel was wide open, a little bit deeper, and he just kind of underthrew that ball, and of course the defensive team got that right back.
They're going to mark it back at the 21-yard line. That's where we were a couple plays ago. The difference is the guys in black have the ball, meaning the Durfee Hilltoppers. They'll go at it this way in offense. Taylor Brown, who intercepted the ball, will be the starting quarterback. His flanker is Danny Brow, who made the good defensive play on first down. He wears number 6. Manny Gobern's the guy you want to watch, number 89 at running back. And Justin Kogler also in the backfield, number 35. The up man is Kogler. Kogler inside the 20, spun around, still on his feet driving ahead. And as he spins ahead, he picks up a couple more yards. Looks like down to the 18. After all is said and done, a pickup of about 3, 2nd and 7.
If that play was any indication, it's going to be a long evening for that defensive team of the Boxers.
Tell you, tough running that time by Kogler would not go down. Tell you, this Manny Gobern with some excellent size, just have to check it. 6 feet 202. Boy, he looks a lot taller than that from up here. Then again, a lot of these players look big compared to me. And Gobern with the good size, he's 89. He'll dot the I on a second down and about 7 call for the Hilltoppers. Taylor Brown calls signals. Gives to the up man, nothing going here. Brockton stays home. They give it to Kogler. May have been a loss on that play.
Yeah, that was a good play by the defensive line. They didn't fool anybody. They clogged up the holes right there, and almost, it looks like he might have got a loss on that play.
Possibly a yard back to about the 18. So really no gain on the play, possibly a half-yard loss. It's going to be a third down and long situation in obvious two-down territory right here. Again, what wind there is blowing right in our faces on the visitor side of this stadium. So it will not help any field goal effort. You got to get Gobern into the play. Long pass downfield. It's going to be picked off. And the pickoff down there, number 36, Kareem Nelson, had a good read on that ball, was almost playing center field in the right corner of the end zone. He gets a big interception for the Boxers.
Yeah, excellent play by Kareem. He read that, went for the time to jump perfectly, and held onto the ball.
Real nice. Almost double team coverage. Kareem Nelson, as you mentioned, with very good concentration on it. His turnover, a big one for the Boxers. So we've had 2 interceptions. Taylor Brown has thrown one. Kershaw has thrown one as well for the Brockton Boxers. And Kershaw meets with his coach. Now has another question. And Armin Colombo checks with his starting quarterback, number 14, senior Mike Kershaw, who, as I mentioned, has 8 touchdown passes on the season. And, of course, one of the biggest ones, of course, the clincher away at Xaverian to give Armin Colombo the 300th victory, a 26-yarder to Jamar Garrison. Kershaw with a flip. This is Jackson. Jackson with a blocker ahead of him, still grinding his way out there, and he'll take it out past the 25-yard line. Hard for us to tell with the players standing on the sideline. We'll wait for the official spot. And it looks like they're going to mark it down at about the 28. Should be a pickup of about 8 yards on the play. And we'll call it second down and a long 2 for the Boxer first down.
Yeah, that was a nice run by the senior, James Jackson, as he took that wide outside, put on a little speed, and made about 8 yards, as you said.
He's got tremendous moves. If you've been with us, you've certainly seen that. He has the ability to break it in a hurry. Second down and 2 situation. Again, Jackson, kind of a wobbly pitch that time, and by the time it all gets straightened out, he's thrown for a loss inside his own 25-yard line. That time, a very wobbly pitch. Jackson had to kind of wait for the ball and settle it, and by that time, excellent penetration by the Hilltoppers.
Yes, good point, Bob. Excellent penetration by the defensive line there as they moved right through that offensive line of the Brockton Boxers and made that great play.
Something to point out as well, Calvin Duncan not in the backfield. Instead, it's Robert Bell. Robert Bell wears number 29 in the backfield along with James Jackson.
Yeah, Robert Bell, he's a new kid on the block. He's a good hitter. He likes to hit.
Well,
and that's probably the reason he's behind there.
I bet you're right. Certainly a blocker for number 20, Jackson. Another likely passing situation. Kershaw drops back, heavy pressure. He's popped. Comes over to Whitaker, and Whitaker's got a whole gang of Hilltoppers to dump him down. So way short of the first down. Another great defensive read by the Hilltoppers shuts down the Boxers.
Yeah, there were 4 Hilltoppers right on that play very quickly as they probably are keying on Whitaker.
Not only that, Kershaw, if you notice, took quite a pop himself. And doing the hitting down there, it looked like, well, I thought it was number 65. Maybe it wasn't. Tom Souza, yes it was. Tom Souza, the defensive tackle. And now it's kick time. Archie Johnson, who normally wears number 10, wears 26. He'll be kicking to single coverage. And it's Taylor Brown right down below us at his own 40-yard line. Johnson booms it away, and he got some great kicks off. Fair catch right below us at the 39, 40-yard line by Brown. Nice kick by Archie Johnson. I was watching him in warm-ups tonight, and I'll tell you, he was sending them like NASA style out into outer space. They were just incredible kicks, and he gets another great effort right here.
Yeah, Archie Johnson, he has beautiful form as a punter. He really gets it up there, gives a chance for the special teams to get down there and cover the punt. Excellent punt by Archie.
So about 38 yards on the kick. No return by Taylor Brown. First down and 10 directly below us at the 39-yard line. 39.5 of the Hilltoppers. Their second try in offense. We are scoreless. 5:07 to go first quarter from Fall River. Brown, here's the pitch, Goburn. This is the guy you got to watch. Goburn outside. He's got 5. He's got close to 10 before he's rolled out of bounds in front of his own bench. Very close to a first down. And you can see why Manny Goburn is so dangerous.
Yeah, Manny's 6 feet, 206 pounds. 202 pounds. And he has an awful lot of speed, as you can see there.
Boy, he looks a lot bigger than that to me. I don't know if they're cheating us on the sheet. It's going to be a little short of the first down by about a half a yard. Call it second and about a half a yard after the nice run and being forced out of bounds. Manny Goburn, number 89.
It's to Manny's advantage when you're at least 6 feet tall and over 200 pounds, plus you have speed. You're definitely a factor.
Absolutely. Those aren't bad credentials right there. So Taylor Brown looks over the defense, hands it off. This is Kogler. Kogler's got the first down. Had to get to the third, 49.5. He's into Boxer real estate, down at about the 48. First down with a couple of yards to spare for the Hilltoppers. They're first in the ball game, and the first one for either team in this ball game as we're under 5 minutes to play in a scoreless first quarter.
That was an excellent play fake by Taylor Brown. I was looking at him to dish it off to number 89, Manny Goldberg, but the fullback had it, as you saw.
Well, I think they'll try and mix it up, and I think Kogler carries the ball. He has 4 touchdowns to his credit as well, so he's somebody to be reckoned with. Tough ball player, does all the kicking as well. Handoff, no, it's the fake. Brown still has it, and a nice play right there. Spinning around, Jamah Garrison, number 85, stays on the quarterback. Nice heads-up play by Jamah, and throws the quarterback down after really almost no gain on the play. Second down, we'll call it 10 yards to go after the good defensive effort by Garrison. Maybe a gain of a yard. We'll be kind. We're on their home turf. Let's call it 2nd and 9. Play comes in from the sideline. Taylor Brown with number 4. He has an interception early on in this football game. Also calls all the signals. He shifts Danny Bow from one side to the other side. Danny Brow. And he rolls out. Pass downfield, complete to Brow. Brow's got the first down. Dives inside the 35 of Brockton, and a nicely designed play. So the shift certainly worked. Brow went over to the right side, makes a first down catch from Taylor Brown.
Yeah, beautiful execution by Taylor Brown as he did the play fake. He rolled out. He threw a beautiful pass out there in the flat for a first down.
14 yards on the pass play, Brown to Brow. Say that a few times. And it's a first down at the Brockton 34-yard line. Well-designed play, very sure pass, and a nice delivery by Taylor Brown for the Hilltopper first down as they split out Mitzes, number 1, and also Brow wide left side. Audible call by the quarterback Brown. Goes left side. Here's Brow again. Behind a block from Mitzes, has the ball inside the 25-yard line of the Brockton Boxers. Let's see where they put it down. It's going to be very close. I believe maybe a little short of the first. No, it is a first down. Got the first down.
Yeah, Durfee High is really calling some clever plays over there as the coach is really putting in some very clever plays.
It seems like if you watch Taylor Brown telling Brow where to line up and what to do, twice the play has come directly to number 6. Both times are first downs. So inside the 25-yard line at about the 24, first down at 10. Kogler, big hole, driving his way down inside the 10. And let's see where they mark it down. It might be inside the 5. I think it's going to be down at about the 5-yard line. We'll mark it at the 4, first and 10. And another big gallop that time, 20 yards and a burst right up the middle and a big hole for 35.
You're right, Bob. It was a burst of speed that the fullback put right up the middle as he was shedding tacklers and knocking people out of his way.
Brockton Boxer defense has played very well, though knocked off their pins last week on the ground by a tough Fitchburg squad. And Fitchburg, in case you missed it, went on to defeat Zavarian by a score of 31-14 last week to run their record to 6-0 on the season. Brockton facing trouble here. Kogler tries to get inside, dives towards the goal line. He's going to be at about the 1 or 2 yard line. He'll pick up about 3 on the play, perhaps 2. It'll be a second down and goal from that spot. So the Hilltoppers knocking on the door early here as we approach 2 minutes, 10 seconds, and the clock runs here in the first quarter of play. Good crowd for Durfee on the far side of the field, and also Brockton, as you would expect, brought a lot of their fans down Route 24 for this big one. This is a big ball game for both clubs. Both teams coming into this ball game with records of 4-1. Second down and goal. They place it down at about the 2 yard line. Brown looks it over. Hands it to Kogler, dances his way, and he's going to drive in for a touchdown. Justin Kogler with the score to give the Hilltoppers the advantage early on with 1:40 to go here in the first quarter of play. 2 yards for Kogler and a run over the right side. And, of course, on that right side, his big right tackle, Bob Morin, 277 pounds, number 61, providing a punishing block to give Kogler a big hole. And now Justin Kogler will stay on for the extra point.
Yeah, Durfee High's offense is very mature this year. They're all seniors in the backfield, the quarterback, the wide receivers. Everybody's a senior back there, so they're a very well-oiled and coached team.
Here's a fake. The throw, looking for 2 points, and they get the 2 points to Danny Brow. So on the fake, Danny Brow makes the reception, his 3rd catch on this drive. This time good for the 2-point conversion from Taylor Brown to give the Hilltoppers the 8-0 advantage. And that a big play in this football game.
Yeah, Danny Brow has contributed a lot in this drive. He's a 5'7" senior, 158 pounds.
Boy, I tell you, he gets out there, though. But the Brockton defense facing a stiff test, some excellent running by Justin Kogler, number 35, who gets the touchdown. So Armin Colombo's squad has to regroup. They have to dig down a little deep here and rebound. They certainly have the weapons to do it, and they also have the defense to hold the opposition. But right now, the Hilltoppers with the momentum on their side after a successful drive and their second try in offense to give them the lead, 8-0. Again, the 2-point conversion, Brown to Brow in the corner of the end zone. He did his little tiptoe dance to make sure he got into pay dirt. So a familiar scene once again as number 23, Brandon Hill, will go back with Robert Charles Whitaker. And again, I'm sure the Hilltoppers will try to kick the ball away from number 80. And that's one of the reasons, of course, they brought James Jackson up to try and catch some of the short kickoffs, knowing that they're going to try to kick the ball away from number 80. Kogler will kick.
Yeah, Robert Whitaker, he's well known throughout eastern Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah. He's not exactly a deep, dark secret anymore.
No, he isn't.
And that's much to his credit. A fine athlete. As Brian Madden said in our last get-together against Fitchburg, and he's helped coach. He's had him as a player before. This one comes all the way down to Hill. Hill takes it about the 15, the 20. He's got a good head of steam. 30, 35, 40. Hill is knocked off his pins at about the 45-yard line. Boy, I'll tell you, some blinding speed right there by number 23, Brandon Hill. Excellent field position for the Boxers for their drive.
An excellent run by Brandon Hill. He followed his block as well, came over to the right side and scooted up the field for a nice gain.
They're going to mark it just outside the 45-yard line. Some blinding speed, and he took that ball in full gallop. And so the Brockton Boxers with their best field position of the evening as we count it down. 1:29 to go here in the first quarter of play. And this one should be at Donnybrook before it's all over. Kershaw with Bell and Jackson behind him in the eye, and a first down play from the 45. Long count. And the handoff goes to Jackson, delayed, 50, and he plunges ahead for 7 yards into Hilltopper territory down to the 48-yard line.
Excellent hole on the right side of that offensive line there for Jackson to make that nice carry.
Actually, more than that after the placement of the ball closer to the 47. So about 2.5 yards short of the first down. Another nice effort, good second effort by number 20, James Jackson. Very exciting athlete. We've enjoyed his career at Brockton High School. And, of course, he wants that career to end up in the Super Bowl, and they need a victory here tonight for that effort. And we're going to have a motion call right here on Robert Bell, number 29. This will go against the Brockton Boxers, their second penalty of the evening. They'll call it procedure officially. Push it back 5 yards. 2 5-yard mark-offs against the Boxers here in the first quarter of play.
Yeah, Robert Bell's a 6', 205 junior. I think this is his first start, so he might be a little bit rusty or a little bit nervous.
I believe it is, but they'll mark the 5 yards on him. Brockton now pushes it back instead of 2nd and 2.5. Now they have a 2nd and 7.5 after the nice run by Jackson. Again out of the eye, they'll give it to Jackson, and he brings it back almost exactly the 5 yards that they lost on the penalty. Except this time it'll be a third down situation and about 2.5 to go.
Again, another nice hole by the Brockton offensive line as Jackson picked his place to tiptoe through there for that nice gain, as you said.
I'll tell you, he's been averaging, as if you listen to what we had said at the beginning of this broadcast, over 5 yards a carry. And so he's ripping off the yardage every time he gets his hands on the football. And somewhere along the line, at some point tonight, you know Robert Charles Whitaker will be doing the end around. I'm quite sure of that. We have a stoppage of play right here. Now that's the end of the first quarter of play, thank you. We have reached the end of 11 minutes of play. When play resumes, we're looking at a 3rd down and 2.5 call for Mike Kershaw and the offensive brain trust on the sideline to see if Brockton can get back in and try and tie this football game up. They trail it at the end of 1 by a score of 8-0.
Yeah, Brockton needs to keep this ball in their hands to give the defense a little rest, as they've been on the field a little bit on that last drive. It was quite a long drive, so Brockton really needs to put some points, either a field goal or a touchdown on the board.
Take a look at the offensive line. Of course, Robert Charles Whitaker at the split end position. Greg Leffler is number 76. J.J. Lucia is 68. Jason Curry, number 50, the center. Tom Numrich is number 66 at right guard. Right tackle Brandon Leach, 72. These are the guys that are usually in the positions, and the tight end is, of course, Jamar Garrison. Mike Kershaw is your quarterback, wears number 14. And in the backfield tonight, as we mentioned, Robert Bell along with James Jackson. And I think you'll see Brandon Hill, too, sometime before this evening is over. Remaining games for Brockton on the season while we have a chance. Of course, next week they're home against the Pinkerton Academy Astros with a big victory last week over Londonderry, New Hampshire. The New Hampshire team is 5-1. Doesn't get any easier, boys and girls. And then, of course, New Bedford comes to town. That a home game. And Brockton certainly hopes that will be the one that will send them on the way to the Super Bowl. New Bedford, the only team with a losing record so far. That's so far, 2-3. Thanksgiving Day is no cakewalk. They take on Waltham. Waltham's only loss in the season, they're 4-1. They lost 7-6 to Xaverian on opening day out of the Greater Boston League. They have given up 21 points in 5 games, and of course that game will be at Waltham. So right now, back to the action as we start quarter number 2. A third down situation, about 2.5 to go for the Boxers. Again, out of the eye, they'll give it to Jackson. We have a stoppage, and again, we may have a penalty against the offense. We'll wait and see. The likely call, and it is going to go against the Boxers. Illegal procedure once more. 3 big penalties in this game, all illegal procedure 5-yard mark-offs.
Yeah, that's a tough break on the Boxers. Those things just can't happen if they want to continue to hold on to that football.
Well, you're right. And I mean, James Jackson broke off a nice run. They move it back on a penalty. He brings it back 5 yards. Now with 2.5 yards to go, now it's back there. We're looking at 3rd down and 7.5. Changes the whole complexion of the play. As you saw, the play was a handoff to Jackson. He had a good hole that time. Let's see if Kershaw puts it up. Kershaw will put it up. And his pass goes wide out here. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Somebody may have hit his arm as he tried to get rid of it. And James Jackson recovered it, but it's going to bring 4th down on the incompletion.
Yeah, that was a tough illegal procedure penalty on the Boxers. As you said, instead of being 3rd and 2, it was 3rd and 8.
Changes the whole complexion, as you see. So now Archie Johnson, who got away a great kick, about 39 yards, no return the first time, will be called upon again. He'll line up inside his 40, and he'll probably kick from about his 42, 43. Archie can really boom that ball away, and they need one right here. Single coverage all the way back is number 4, Taylor Brown. And he's lined up back at about his 10. Nice high kick this time, twisting away from Brown. And not as good an effort as he would like, and it heads out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So that's where the Hilltoppers will take over with the lead of 8-0. And that time, not quite as good an effort. I'd say about maybe 30, 35 yards.
I'll tell you, that was an excellent kick by, considering the circumstances, that there were a couple of defenders right in Archie Johnson's face, and somehow he was able to get that kick off and get what he could out of it. Excellent play by Archie.
Of course, the good thing, it denies any return by Taylor Brown, but some pretty good field position considering for the Hilltoppers as they go on offense 1st down. Brockton Boxer player hustles off the field. 1st down carry this time, Kogler. Nothing much there. I'll try to get the tacklers for you. Led by number 55 in there, Carlos Catacat from his linebacker slot. Short gain in the play. We'll call it a 2-yard gain. Call it 2nd down and 8.
Brockton's defense needs really hold Durfee High on this particular possession. Maybe try to get them to punt the ball so the offense can get back on the field quickly.
That or possibly take advantage of a mistake. The Hilltoppers certainly capable of that too, with some good defensive hard hits. Brown looks it over. He's in no rush right now. Brow flanked out. Bell threatens blitz. Here he comes as Goburn goes wide left. Past Garrison. Nice play over there. Spun around. Goburn on his feet still. Oh, man. Robert Whitaker came up and gave him a shiver. And Goburn shows you his toughness. He spins away from number 80. Continues up the field. Let's see where they place it down. It's going to be just short of the 1st down. A 3rd and about 1.
Yeah, good point, Bob. Robert Whitaker is one of the better hitters on the defensive team. And Manny basically shook that tackle right off and got a few more yards.
Boy, 2 good athletes going at it right there, and Manny Goburn shows you his toughness. A little bit short of the 1st down, 3rd down situation. So here's another big test for the Brockton defense. You probably have to look for the tough player Kogler. We're going to have a timeout called right here. And the Hilltoppers want to talk it over. Of course, you have 5 stoppages per half. Good timeout call with 9:45 to go here in the 2nd quarter of play. Hilltoppers on top. Kogler, a 2-yard touchdown if you're just joining us, and a 2-yard conversion. It was Brown to Brow for the 2-yarder, and it's 8-0 in favor of Durfee.
Yeah, Durfee High is giving Brockton a run for their money. As we said before the game started, the guy to look out for was Manny Goburn, and it looks like it's been a basically well-rounded offense for the Durfee High Hilltoppers. They've given it to mostly everybody, and they've done a good job.
Well, 4-1 against 4-1. Goburn against Whitaker, both with 48 points. How more even does it get than that? Full house backfield, and a keeper by Brown, and he spins his way, and I believe he might have the 1st down. We'll wait for the official spot. He does have the 1st down and a big 3rd down conversion. Full house backfield, and also a spin out, a rollout by the quarterback following the blocking in a well-designed play. Head coach, of course, Steve Winarski for the Hilltoppers. And Steve Winarski in season number 6, coming in with a career record here with Durfee of 25-27. They were 3-7 last year. They're 4-1 this year, and what a reversal of fortunes for Steve Winarski and his troops for this year.
Yeah, good timeout by the coach there to decide exactly what he wanted to do there to get the first down.
Gabriel Pereira flanks out wide right. And the handoff goes to Kogler again. Winds his way inside. And Pruitt strips the ball away. Nice play. Oh, are they going to call it down? Pruitt had that ball stolen. They're going to call the ball down, and I don't believe that play. I have to tell you.
That's a tough call there.
Oh, I
That's
tell you, I had
call.
the glasses right on number 45, and he wrestled the ball away. The fans are booing here, and I have to tell you, they have a right to boo because that ball was stripped.
There was no whistles.
Armin Colombo wants the officials over in a hurry.
I didn't hear a whistle. Did you hear a whistle, Bob?
I didn't hear a whistle either, but then again, we have headsets on. And Armin Colombo is giving the referee what for, and you know something? He has every right to.
Yes,
that ball was stripped.
Yes.
Pruitt just wrestled the ball away, and that was a key play. He would have gone all the way for a score.
Yes, he would have. That's a tough call.
Talk about key plays right now. Pruitt right in the middle of it. Can't believe it. He was ball hawking, and it's perfectly legal to do it, and that had to be one of the quickest whistles. Sadly, unfortunately, because we're on the road, fans, you understand we do not have replay. So wind back your VCRs and take a look all you want. And the Colombo's father and son are both hot and both with good reason to be upset.
Certainly
Timeout
so, Bob.
called by Brockton. Brockton assessed a timeout on that. So that just adds more fuel to the fire. And not only that, the pickup was about 7 yards on the carry before the strip, so it's 2nd and 3, and the fans booing, as you can see. Obviously, we're on the Brockton side, and they have every right to boo. That was a bad call. Handoff Kogler. Kogler not much here, and Pruitt and company. I'll tell you, this may just charge up the defense.
Yeah, definitely so.
And that is one of the key plays in this ball game, and we're only in the second quarter with 8 minutes and change to go. Boy, Armin Colombo is hopping mad, and son Peter as well. And I tell you, I can't disagree. I'd have to see that one again when I have a chance to look at the tape.
Well, what the defense has to do now is get back into focus, forget about the call, and concentrate on holding this Hilltoppers so they can punt the ball.
Well, Kogler on the carry was straightened up by Pruitt, and as he was carrying the ball like a loaf of bread. And a plunge ahead looking for the first down. Let's see where this mark is going to be. And it's going to be very close. I'm not sure he has it. They're going to have a measurement right here. And the fans still irate about that. Strip by Pruitt. I'll tell you, that's one guy I think has played very well. Tyrone Pruitt, number 45. We've called his name many occasions. Brian and I did the last ball game against Fitchburg. I thought he had a fine ball game. Certainly had a great game on the road against Severian. It is a first down. So another first down picked up by the Hilltoppers, and the ball sitting out just past their own 47. And they lead 8-0 with 7:37 second quarter.
Yeah, Tyrone Pruitt, he has a nose for the football. He's 6 foot, 180 pounds, and he's only a sophomore, so we'll see a lot of him upcoming.
You certainly will. He's an exciting one. Good athlete, as Brockton has many good athletes in the squad. Ably coached, of course, by the legendary Armin Colombo. Steve Winarski coaching for the Hilltoppers, his squad up right now by 8 points. So let's see if the defense can rise to the occasion after the first down. Pruitt fights off a block. Goburn is going to be straightened up. No place to go there. Nice job on first down. I don't think any gain on the play, and I'll tell you, Manny Goburn was facing the Wolves on that one.
Excellent gang tackling by the Brockton defense there with the linebackers coming up quickly to stop that wide play there.
We'll call no gain on the play for number 89, Goburn. Very much the threat of this offense. Nice play by the Brockton defense, really spearheaded by Pruitt fighting off a block and forced Goburn to delay long enough for his mates to collaborate on the tackle. Second down and 10 from the 47.5-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Brown works with a split backfield, Brow and Kogler. This is Brow double reverse time. That goes nowhere. We have a marker down. We're going to check the flag on the play. And I'll tell you, Brockton with an inside double reverse to Goburn from Brow. That goes nowhere. We'll check the marker.
Excellent play by the defense, because that was a tricky play.
Offensive holding is the call against the Hilltoppers. Brockton will refuse this, as Tyrone Pruitt already acting in the capacity of refusal, as he says, we will turn it down. This will be a third down situation. Brockton might be bringing in the nickel right here. Taylor Brown, of course, can throw to Goburn. He can throw to Brow. Brow caught 2 passes en route to the touchdown, and, of course, caught the 2-point conversion. 6:18 to go. A third down situation, a loss of 3 in the last play, as Brockton's defense is really perking up now. So despite the fact that was a bad call, and I'll stake my claim to that, it may have really charged up this defense, and we can only hope so, to get the fortunes reversed in this football game. Third down situation. They'll send twin flankers out to the left, Mitzes and also Brow, 1 and 6 respectively. Inside handoff, conservative call, that goes nowhere. Actually almost a loss in the play, and they give the ball to Kogler, and it's punt time for the first time tonight for the Hilltoppers. Kogler will be back, number 35, to kick it away.
Yeah, excellent pursuit by one of the tacklers there, number 29, Robert Bell, who likes to hit. Robert Bell's a 6', 205 junior.
He's got some good size, too, and he will be back next year. Whitaker goes back to his 30-yard line. As I mentioned, Kogler will be doing the kicking. And Brockton's job right now is to give Whitaker a little breathing room to see if he can pull some lightning out of a bottle, and there's nobody better in this football field than number 80 to do just that. First kick tonight for the Hilltoppers, and Whitaker hopes to give the Brockton Boxers some good field position. High snap, kick away, line drive, and Whitaker will get away from this. No, he'll go in and try to turn it back. He goes right up the field. 35, he is at the 40. And just short of the 40, actually, we have a marker all the way back down the field. This one may go against Brockton. We'll wait and see. Robert Charles Whitaker waited for the last second, picks up the football, but we'll see if there is not a marker again against the Boxers. Officials conferring on the far side. Illegal block again against the Boxers, so it's a shutout so far as the penalties in this game.
Yeah, one thing Brockton has to do, they're going to have to definitely cut down on the penalties if they want to come back in this game and take the lead.
It's a question of discipline. You really have to stay within yourselves offensively, cut out the illegal procedure calls. Those are certainly avoidable. And illegal blocks in the back and things like that are certainly mistakes that can come back to haunt you. Right now it's going to haunt the Boxers because instead of better field position near the 40, the ball goes all the way back to the 29-yard line after the mark-off. First down and 10, 4:53 before intermission. And I'll tell you, this game is just flying by because the ball is staying on the ground.
Yeah, a lot of ball control by the Durfee High team. They've controlled the ball quite a number of minutes this first half.
I think right around now, maybe in this series of downs, you might just see Robert Charles Whitaker with an end around. I know that the other team knows that exists, but you've got to get the ball into the hands of number 80. Also, James Jackson is not a bad bet either. On a first down for Kershaw on the offense from the 29. They'll go to the up man to Bell, and Bell goes ahead for about maybe 4 yards on the play. He'll have it out to about the 32, 33-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. They'll mark it down at the 33. That's a play just to keep the defense honest, and they give the ball to the up man in the eye, Robert Bell, number 29. Who, as Miles Jackson mentioned, is a 6-footer and almost 200 pounds, has some pretty good size, and he's a junior too, so you'll see him come back next year. Chris Jackson moves on, as does Kershaw, the two seniors in the backfield. Handoff goes to Jackson on a delay. Brow forces the play inside, and the tackle made in there. Finally, number 61, Big Robert Morin, all 277 pounds of him, wraps up Jackson after the gain out to about the 36-yard line. 3 yards short of the first down. It brings up third down and 3.
You got to give the Durfee High Hilltoppers credit. They're not letting Brockton get anything big. Just little chunks here and there.
Well, so far.
So far.
And I'll tell you, very soon they're going to have to open it up, and Kershaw is going to have the confidence to look for number 80, who's down below us in single coverage. You might see him on this play. They keep it on the ground. Jackson goes nowhere. They go conservative. Back to the 25-yard line. Loss of 1 and kick time upcoming for Archie Johnson as number 26 trots onto the field.
Yeah, good point, Bob. Brockton High did play conservative on that series of plays. Unfortunately, they're going to have to punt now.
And they're also going to have to block. Their offensive line not doing the job. Good pursuit that time, getting off the ball by the Hilltopper defensive line, winning the battle. So the clock rolls on as we approach 3 minutes to go before intermission. Archie Johnson back. He'll be kicking that ball from up around his 18-yard line. So the Hilltoppers anticipate good field position up in this game, 8-0. And now we have a stoppage. Do we have a timeout called? I didn't see a flag. Yeah, it looks like we have a timeout called by the Hilltoppers. And heading over there to talk to the coaches is Dan Bertoncini, who comes into this ball game as the leading tackler for the Hilltoppers. He goes back into the huddle. Defensive captain, I believe.
Now Brockton's defense, they're going to be very careful, very focused on this series of plays that Durfee has the football. There's still a lot of time left, 2 minutes and 49 seconds till the half, so they really have to play heads up.
Well, assuming the special teams is going to do a good job right here, because Taylor Brown anticipates getting a nice punt return. High snap. Johnson gets the ball away, and he booms this one nice and high. Good coverage coming down. It takes a Hilltopper bounce, however, and goes into Brockton real estate. That ball came back a good 5 yards on a single bounce. And so far, nothing going right tonight for the Boxers, and the ball is going to be inside Boxer territory, down at about the 48-yard line. 1st and 10, Durfee.
Be interesting to see what the coach for Durfee High has in store as far as he's going to play it conservative, run out the clock, or he's going to go for maybe a few more points.
I think he'll probably take the clock down with him as much as possible. I think you'll probably see Kogler, and I have a funny feeling Mr. Goburn might hit his mitts on the ball, number 89. If they go in trouble, certainly Brow is a guy. Here's Goburn right here. Goburn goes left side. He's got a gang of room over there. Knocked out of bounds, not before he gets the first down. He's down at about the 37-yard line, a gallop of about 11 yards and a first down. They'll move the sticks. And a very concerned Armin Colombo is pacing the sidelines, hands on his hips. He watches his defense yield a first down. Pickup of 11 by the Hilltoppers. Goburn on the wide pitch is just dangerous.
And he was smart enough to go out of bounds to stop the clock.
Good point, too. Although, of course, in high school ball, they will stop the clock until they set the chains and start it up again. But the clock will start, as you mentioned, when the ball is snapped. So after the 11-yard Goburn carry, the Hilltoppers back in business, looking to try to get up by 2 scores. Rollout, trouble here, no place to go, and down goes Brown. A huge loss, huge loss. They're going to give him forward progress all the way to the 49 of Brockton. So a loss of 12 on that play all the way to the 49. He was hunted down all the way back at his 43. So a pretty gratuitous forward progress, I would say. But they marked the ball down as a 12-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 22. That changes the complexion of a lot of things.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play by Tyrone Pruitt and Carlos
Castanet.
Yeah,
excuse me, Catacat,
yes. Excellent job by them to sniff out the quarterback on that play.
I'm sitting too close to the band with the Castanets on my mind, I think. So, again, they'll split out Spiros Mitzis number 1, along with Brow, down below, and twin receivers right. Hand the ball off to Kogler, and Kogler with a nice run brings it all the way back inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 10 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down at about a 12 situation.
Yeah, nice big hole by the Durfee High offensive line there for the and for the running back to gain those yardage back.
And you know the funny thing is that their big guy is really on the other side. I'm talking about Bob Morin, who Kogler followed for the only touchdown of the ball game. He's 277. Danny Bertoncini's only 197 at left tackle. One of the lightest tackles you'll find. Kyle Martin, the left guard, number 62, goes 230. But a nice hole opened up nonetheless by those two for Kogler. 3rd down and 12. They'll go with Goburn. Pruitt hits him first, and then he's finally dragged down. And finally, the tackle made by Lance LaFontaine, who's had a fine year, our first call of his name. Pruitt was the man that made the initial stop, 45, and I'll tell you, he's playing a whale of a game so far. He's into it.
Yeah, that was a nice pop by Pruitt there on that play.
4th down situation, 30 seconds to go. Armin Colombo will let the clock run. And 4th down, and certainly Durfee is in no rush. They'll let it go as well. And I'll tell you, this is going to be very interesting because Durfee will get the football when we start the second half. Both teams content to let the clock run down. Taylor Brown over on the sidelines. 9 seconds, 8 seconds and running. And now we have a timeout called by Durfee to avoid the penalty. 3 seconds showing on the clock. I'm a little surprised, actually, that Armin didn't call the timeout. Although, well, I'd send the house. Give it a shot. Why not? And you got a guy like Whitaker that can return the ball back. You have to take a few chances, I think. But that's easy for me to say up here.
Yeah, Coach Colombo might feel that his team right now is still not quite in the football game. And with all the mistakes they've been making, he doesn't want to take a chance on some type of mistake made. And he's hopefully going to, I'm sure he's going to give him some type of pep talk in the locker room.
Oh, you can be sure of that. I think he's warming up the lungs right now as we speak. No doubt about it. And what anger is left over from the Pruitt thing will certainly be aimed at his players to get them to come out and play hungry in the second half. They're going to go for it now with 3 seconds to go with a Hail Mary. Long pass downfield. Nothing but Brockton Boxers down there. And this one is knocked down incomplete. And we have reached the end of 22 minutes of play from what is turning into a little bit of a chilly stadium here. It is 8-0 in favor of the Hilltoppers from Durfee. Again, Kogler, a 2-yard touchdown run. A 2-yard reception in the end zone brow from Brown. That's your scoring. We're going to step aside as the bands will take over now. And Miles Jackson, myself, Bob Sondheim will be back for second half coverage. Stay with us. It's Brockton trailing by 8. We'll step aside. This is Brockton football.
Take the way women with all
Okay, welcome back to the second half of tonight's football game, and it has now grown very chilly here in Fall River, Massachusetts. Bob Sondheim along with Miles Jackson. 8-0 is your score. Durfee looking for the upset tonight. Despite the fact both teams have come in 4-1, it has been an awfully long time since the Durfee Hilltoppers have upended the Brockton Boxers. And, of course, kicking the ball off will be Eric Ampuja, a name we have not called tonight simply because the Brockton Boxers have not had a scoring threat so far in this football game. And they have just barely had the ball inside Hilltopper real estate. 22 more minutes of football to go, of course. Many people are going to talk about a very controversial play. Some people off to my left were talking about it's tough to beat 11. It's even tougher to beat 14 or 15 when you count the officials. And I'll tell you something, that is a play many people are going to talk about. I can only hope personally that either the play was the right call, which I doubt, or that it does not make a difference in the football contest. But right now, the Hilltoppers will get their hands on the football to start the second half. They defer to receive in the second half. Goburn will be deep, and he will be back along with Taylor Brown, both at about their 5-yard line. Eric Ampuja will kick off, number 15. He of the live foot, and we're just about ready to be underway. But the temperature has dropped here, I'd say, a good 30 degrees since the start of this football game. Bouncing ball comes to Taylor Brown on the 6. He's at the 10, the 15, out to the 20. Spins to the 25, drops the football. That's a loose football. And let's see who has it. Big pile up. Brockton comes away. I think, yep, it was recovered by the Hilltoppers. That ball was loose, and the Hilltoppers do recover. Ball's going to be marked out just beyond the 25-yard line. First down and 10. They'll mark it at the 26 for a Hilltopper first down.
Well, one thing Coach Colombo, I'm sure, emphasized in the locker room was for his team to execute their plays and no dumb penalties. They must avoid the penalties in the second half in order to make this comeback.
If you're just joining us, Brockton stung with all kinds of penalties in this football game. I don't believe the Hilltoppers have been flagged in this game, if memory serves me correctly. Certainly it has not affected their progress. First down and 10. Taylor Brown hands the ball off to Goburn. Nothing doing right there. Big Jamar Garrison, number 85, his second fine defensive play of the night.
Yeah, Jamar gave him a nice bear hug about a 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. Nice play by Jamar Garrison.
Very nice play. Loss of 2 in the play brings up the second down and 12. The Brockton defense had glimmers of good playing in the first half, especially after the Tyrone Pruitt theft. That's the play we're referring to. After a Kogler pickup of about 7 yards, a strip, and a very clean strip by Tyrone Pruitt, but the play was called dead. That would have turned into a tie ball game or very close to it. It would have been a touchdown. Here's Kogler cut down at the knees this time, and he may have gotten 1 yard back. They're still not back to the line of scrimmage. Should be about third down and 11 right now.
That was an excellent tackle, and the fullback's getting up a little slow. He might have twisted his ankle a little bit or something.
Well, he is favoring a leg, no question about it. He was cut down low. That was an excellent tackle, as you mentioned, and Kogler went down like a shot that time. So third down play, actually third down and closer to 12. No gain on the last call. And the Brockton defense, this would be a real momentum switcher right here if they could come up with a big stop right here. Now let's see what is called. Coming out this side is Spiros Mitsis, number 1. They can throw to him. He has not caught a ball tonight. Throw here comes to Brow. Brow tries to shed tacklers. He's going to be short of the first down. Knocked out of bounds at about the 32. Had to get the ball out about another 5 or 6 yards, so it's going to be a fourth down call. And kick time for the second time tonight for Kogler and the Hilltoppers.
Good defensive stand by the Brockton Boxers to come out here in the second half and hold the Hilltoppers to their first possession.
About 5 yards short of the first down, as we mentioned. Had to get the ball out past the 35 to about the 36.5-yard line. So Kogler, number 35, will line up at about his own 20, and he'll kick from about the 25-yard line. Now, Brockton's defense does its job. High snap from center, big rush. Kogler gets it away. Hill is back in single coverage. He's going to watch this ball. Takes a nice Hilltopper bounce inside the 30. It'll come down at about the 27-yard line. So a nice kick by Kogler with no return by Brockton. First and 10 Boxers. They trail at 8-0. 9:01 to go, third quarter.
Brockton offense must come out here and execute penalty-free and move the ball down the field. They need to stay on the gridiron for a number of minutes here.
And again, the big change, no Calvin Duncan. He is not in the lineup, number 32. In fact, has not played defense either. Robert Bell in his stead, number 29, a good hitter, as you've heard Miles mention. Two-way football player playing defense tonight as well. And, of course, in the backfield with him, the ever-dangerous James Jackson, the senior, number 20. Kershaw, the quarterback. First down and 10, Brockton from their own 27. Handoff goes to Jackson. He's got a hole this side. Trying to shed tacklers. Gets outside the 30, out to about the 32 or so. Should have about 5 yards. We'll wait for the official spot. Nice moves that time by number 20. Now they'll mark it at about the 31-yard line, so about 4 yards on the carry call. It's second down and 6. Actually, it's about 5 yards on the play. Yep, 5 yards. We'll call it second and 5. That's just about James's average this year, and he's good for about 5 yards a pop unless they're keying on him on a big third down play, as has happened in this game.
Yeah, James Jackson's the go-to guy when it comes to putting the ball on the ground.
And, of course, they somehow have to get the ball into Robert Charles Whitaker's hands, and they have not run the reverse tonight so far. Handoff Jackson again. Big hole left side. Got the first down and a lot more. 45-50. He's into Hilltoppers territory down to the 43-yard line at a first down and 10 Boxers. Nice big run that time by James Jackson and a big first down for the Boxers.
Yeah, James Jackson, he's the senior running back, the type of guy it's going to take more than one person to bring James down, as you saw in that play there.
25 yards on the scamper by the senior, and Brockton about its deepest possession, or very close to it in this football game. Kershaw comes to the sideline, has a word with Armin Colombo, 301 wins under his belt. He's not thinking about that number. He's thinking SB, Super Bowl, and to do that, the season comes down to this half of football against the Hilltoppers. Brockton trails it by 8. First down just below us at the 43. Kershaw has a deep pitch this time. This play not going anywhere. Kershaw was bottled up right at about the line of scrimmage and tried to pitch the ball off, and another kind of a wounded duck pitch that number 20 Jackson had to wait for, judge, so he wouldn't fumble the ball. And by the time all that transpired, it's a loss of about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, that was a little scary play by Kershaw. He somehow got it over to Jackson. Unfortunately, the defense was up and on the play at the moment.
Well, that's it. So a loss of 4, call it second and 14. Nice defensive effort. All the options really stopped that time for the Brockton Boxers, and it leads to a healthy loss. Let's see if Kershaw will keep it on the ground. Will they go wide? Jackson split up top. Emmanuel has not caught the ball down here. They throw to him, number 88, through the hands. Actually a little bit too high for number 88. It's funny we mentioned that. I just happened to look down. I have not called Emmanuel's name. He had a fine football game last week in the losing effort, I should say 2 weeks ago, in the losing effort against Fitchburg. His first pass reception attempt right there, and the pass sailed over his head. Third down situation, 3rd and 14.
Yeah, Kershaw seems to have, he hasn't gotten on track as far as the passing goes this evening.
No, he really hasn't, and he has one interception on the first drive, picked off by Taylor Brown, playing his safety position. The two-way player is also the starting quarterback for the Hilltoppers. So 3rd and 14, and all eyes have to look at Mr. Whitaker. Pass over here is going to be overthrown, looking for Jamar Garrison.
And Jamar was open too.
Yes, he was.
Unfortunate.
And I tell you, Whitaker upset down there. He felt he was open. Still going through the histrionics way down at about the 10-yard line. So 4th down, and Johnson, Archie Johnson, comes on the field. Taylor Brown will drop back in single coverage for the Toppers. And right now, it's field position time, and Armin Colombo would love to see Archie Johnson boom one and try to pin the Hilltoppers back in their own real estate. He'll set up shop at about his 40, kick from about his 45-yard line on 4th down and long. Healthy rush here. Low kick this time. He should get a bounce. And the bounce comes to inside the 20 to about the 19-yard line before it's down there. And it's down by number 36, Kareem Nelson, who has an interception in this game. So decent field position when you really look at it. just inside the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it at about the 19. First down and 10 for Durfee.
Again, Brockton's defense must have Durfee's offense go 3 and out. So the offense get this ball back and try to put some points on the board.
I still think it's amazing, except for the one pass interception that Nelson picked off. They are still suspect that they can make the mistake, and that's what Brockton is looking for right here, the big turnover. This is Goburn. This play has worked all night. He goes wide, 30-yard line, 35-yard line, has the first down and a lot more. About 16, 18 yards on the gallop, and another wide pitch to number 89, Goburn. And Manny Goburn, who has 8 touchdowns to his credit, 48 points in the season, picks up a big first down for the Hilltoppers, and just as importantly, picks up some big real estate. The ball now on their own 36.
Yeah, Durfee High seems to have a lot of success with that pitch out to the weak side of the field with Manny taking the ball for big gains.
Now the wind howling right in our face, a crosswind that doesn't favor either team. But it's sure making ice cubes of the two of us up here in the open stands. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line after the Goburn pickup of about 17 yards. Handoff Kogler this time, not much there. Might get a couple yards. He might have it out to the 38. It'll be a second down and 8 situation. Every once in a while they give the ball to number 35, Kogler. And he is a durable player, does a lot of things for this football squad, and of course, as I mentioned, does all the kicking.
Yeah, he's only 5'9", but he's 206 pounds.
Ooh. He's a training table. Absolutely. Tough to bring down. He's a tough runner, too. So second down and 8. Again, Brow, number 6. And Mitzis, number 1. Flanked out just below us, wide left. The handoff on a delay, and it's the quarterback who has it. Brown brings it out smartly to about the 45-yard line, about a yard short of the first down. Had me faked out. There's a nice ball fake that time by number 4, Taylor Brown. He kept the ball. Now they're going to mark it actually back at the 43 is where his knee went down. So it's about a third down and 3. Another test for the Brockton defense. And again, just as importantly, that clock keeps marching along. And we are just at 5 minutes to play, third quarter. It is just flying by here. And the Boxers on the short end of an 8-0 count. Third and 3, a big play here. Timeout called by the Hilltoppers. Good timeout. They want to talk it over. A key juncture in this game. So the game has really just flown, in my estimation. And of course, Brockton facing another relentless ground attack here. Goburn doing his thing outside, Kogler doing it inside, and of course the Hilltoppers with the 8-0 advantage and the clock on their side.
Well, Bob, that's just what you said is right. The game has gone at a quick pace because of the ground attack that Durfee High has put out here this evening, and the ground attack that Brockton High has put out this evening.
Remember, a reminder once again, fans, Marciano Stadium, the scene for Pinkerton Academy as they come to town. And they are a 5-1 team. Here's a fumble, and we have flags. Will the play be done again? I think it will. This will go against the offense, undoubtedly.
That's okay.
Illegal procedure, and I think this is the first mark-off of the night against the Hilltoppers. And again, it changes the whole complexion of a third down call. Instead of 3rd and 3, now you're looking at 3rd and 8. But now number 6, Brow, comes into play as a key receiver for this club. A favorite go-to guy from Taylor Brown, number 4. You got to watch number 6 and be very careful. They have not thrown the ball to Mitzis, number 1. Even though he's been flanked out wide all night, he's still a dangerous receiver. But you got to watch number 6, Brow. And of course, Manny Goburn is always a possibility, and he lines up in back of Kogler in the eye on a 3rd down and 8. In the slot is number 6, Brow. The pass goes to Mitzis. Mitzis has a first down. He's at the 49-yard line of Brockton. He's got the first down. So they do go to Mitzis for the first time tonight. They're actually going to mark it down inside Hilltopper real estate at their own 49-yard line. A first down picked up and another big 3rd down conversion. Nice throw by Taylor Brown.
Yeah, that was a nice pass route by Mitzis as he found a little open area out there in the defense. It looked like they were playing a zone defense out there.
So the Hilltoppers able to shake off not only 3rd and 3, but a 3rd and 8 after the penalty. and pick up the first down. More downs and more of a chance to knock off the clock. Goburn goes wide. Flag down. We'll watch this one. Jamar Garrison, I should say Whitaker with a big hit right over there in front of the bench.
That was a big hit by Charles Whitaker.
He really lowered and leveled Mr. Goburn, but we're going to check the marker. We'll see if this one doesn't come back. I think it will. I think it's going to go against Durfee. And I'll tell you something, Goburn comes up limping. Goburn is limping on the sideline, walking. He's bent over in pain. And this is a key juncture in this game as he's being attended to. Goburn took quite a lick from Whitaker right out in front of the bench, and he is being attended to by some of the Durfee trainers. One of the assistant coaches heads over. Meanwhile, we're going to have a look at the flag. This is going to go against Durfee. They've already backed it up. Brockton wants the penalty. Clock is stopped 4:09. If you're just joining us, you're watching Brockton football. Bob Sondheim and Miles Jackson with you. The mark-off is a major one. Holding, I believe, is going to be the call. We'll see. You have to remember they signal on the other side. I believe it was holding. I didn't see the official ruling by the official, but a good bet, 10-yard mark-off. And now Goburn is coming back in the game. He shook off whatever pain he had. And when play resumes, you're looking at a, wow, let's see now. First down and about 22, I believe, is the call here after the mark-off from the site of the foul. Actually, about a loss of 12 yards on the play. Goburn has the ball. He is going to be dragged down. Let me get the number of the tackler. Good play. And that's LaFontaine again. Lance LaFontaine down there. His second good play of the ball game. Number 74 just grabbed a hold of Goburn's leg, would not let go, and spun the big guy down after a short gain.
Yeah, nice play by the 5'10 senior.
The ball resting just inside the 39-yard line. Second down situation and long. The clock moves on at 3:35 to go in a quickly played football game and before a chilly crowd here at Durfee, Fall River. Mitsis will go wide left. Twin men in the slot. They had two men moving on that. This will be a motion call. You could only have one man in motion. They had two, as both Brow, number 6, and Goburn were moving, and Brockton will undoubtedly turn this one down.
Yeah, you got 3 flags. Everybody saw that one.
Yep, no question about that.
Seems like in the second half, Durfee High has lost a little bit of concentration because they've had some penalties called in the second half. With the first half, they were basically penalty-free. That's
exactly the point. Very good point, Miles. Whereas they were penalty-free, all of a sudden they're making the mistakes that Brockton made in the first half. Also losing some field position. This is a chance for them to lose the play as Brockton refuses the penalty and the 5-yard would-be mark-off. They'll take the down. It's a third down situation. And they have to go all the way down to the Brockton, 41-yard line for a first down. So about 19 to go here on a big play. Roll out, pass this side. It's got Mitsis. Mitsis is going to be short of the first down. Do we have a fumble? No, the ball is down. The ball down to the 45-yard line, about 4 yards short of the first down, and we have a marker in the backfield. We'll check that. Check the flag in the backfield. It's against the Hilltoppers. They're going to take this penalty. It's a nice pass play, and Mitsis with the reception wiped that all away. Looks like we have a holding call and another 10-yard mark-off. And, of course, Armin Colombo will keep the down the same and take 10 free yards against the offense on this play.
Yeah, again, the wide receiver there, Mitsis, again, beautiful pass route. He found the open space, what the defense gave him, and the quarterback got the pass to him.
Things starting to turn around, as Miles mentioned. A little loss of concentration here is a kind way to put it. Some bonehead mistakes in there as well. But another 10-yard mark-off pushes the ball back inside the 30 to the 29. So the Hilltoppers marching in the wrong direction for them, and the down remains third down and a mile to go. To give it inside to Manny, and he's going nowhere. Jamar Garrison again shuts the big guy down, and Garrison has come up big defensively tonight.
Yes, he has, Bob. Garrison is very focused in this second half. As you can see, he's made a couple of big plays right there at the line. Manhandled the running back and just threw him down to the ground.
No place for Goburn to go. Give him half a yard on the play. It's 4th down at a long distance. 4th and about 29 to go for a Hilltopper first down. Kogler will kick it away. He stays in the game, number 35. Lines up at his own 20. He'll kick from about the 25. A stiff breeze coming right in our faces. Single coverage back, and here's Whitaker. He's going to get a chance at this ball. Whitaker breaks it out, breaks it over the midfield stripe into Hilltopper real estate at about the 48-yard line. Every time he touches that football, the crowd feels the electricity.
Yes, indeed, Bob. As Robert Whitaker almost broke that one.
About 10 yards on the return and 10 clutch yards. Every yard a big one right now. And Brockton, of course, can only tie up this football game with one score. They trail at 8-0 because of the 2-point conversion, Brown to Brow. 1:45 to go, third quarter. You don't want to go away from this one. This should be an exciting finish. I can feel it. This is a must drive for the offense right here. You almost feel that too. And Kershaw lines up in a first down from the 48 of the Hilltoppers. Drops back to pass. Looks long for Whitaker. Whitaker off his hands. Good effort that time. Single coverage back there. But Robert Whitaker, anytime he gets near the football, anything can happen.
Robert Whitaker made an excellent adjustment on that pass play there to come up for the ball, and he almost had it.
The coverage by Miguel Concepcion, number 28, and single coverage. And we'll take single coverage on number 80 anytime you can get it. A good call. Kershaw aired it out, nearly hooked up with his favorite receiver. Kershaw to the sideline.
As you said, Bob, that was excellent coverage by the defensive back as he was right with Whitaker. And as you know, even though you have excellent coverage on Whitaker, he's the type of ball player that can still come out with the football.
Well, let's see what Brockton calls on a second down situation. They'll put it up again. Go over here, this time incomplete. Again, looking for Whitaker. And again, Concepcion with a one-on-one coverage at about the 41-yard line of the Hilltoppers. That would have been good for about 7 yards on that pass pattern. Now it brings up a third down situation. Archie Johnson running on the sidelines just to try and stay warm. If Brockton has its way, they would just as soon have him keep running on the sidelines by trying to convert a 3rd down and 10 situation.
Yeah, Brockton's put themselves in a tough position now with 3rd down and 10, Bob. As you said, the first 2 plays didn't amount to anything, so they're really the pressure's on the Brockton offense to produce something here.
One of the favorite plays is the slant pass. They also like to do the end around. Neither one have we seen so far in this game. Straight drop back. Kershaw looks down here. This one's picked off again. Taylor Brown. Taylor Brown at the 40. He's at the 50. Brown reverses his field. 45, 40. Still on his feet. He's at the 35. Spun around and dropped at the Brockton 30-yard line. Taylor Brown with a return of about 35 yards and a key play in this football game on a 3rd down interception, 3rd and 10. And here come the Hilltoppers, and their fans get off their butts on the far side, and they feel the electricity and the momentum switching back to the Hilltoppers after Taylor Brown's interception.
Yeah, that was a tough play for Kershaw. He tried to thread the needle there, and unfortunately he miscued on that one, and the ball was intercepted. Second return by the defense.
Yes, it was. Second interception of the night by number 4, Taylor Brown. One of the stars of the game thus far if the score stands. Brockton, of course, hoping the defense can shut it down at this point. From the 30-yard line on about a 35-yard return after the interception by number 4. Give it to Goburn. Goburn tries to take it wide. Pruitt with an outstanding play. Shuts him down for a loss of about 4 or 5 yards on the play. Tyrone Pruitt, number 45, a great defensive effort.
Yes, Tyrone Pruitt, he's a big-time playmaker on this Brockton High defense.
And you mentioned only a sophomore, and I just thrill at the chance to watch this kid for a couple more years. And I know Armin Colombo joins me in that statement. Under a minute to go, third quarter, 50 seconds, the clock runs. Second down situation after the loss of about 4, call it 2nd and 14. So they shut down Goburn trying to go wide, although that time it was more or less a handoff, not the big wide pitch. They'll work out of the eye. The up man Kogler. The fake to Kogler. They pass over here looking for Blau on the wide slant pass heading sideline. This one incomplete. Also stops the clock with 28 ticks to go, third quarter.
And number 6 was wide open there.
Yes,
If he would have caught that, he would have got a few yards.
Could have been in shape for the first down and then some. That pass just overthrown by Taylor Brown, who's done most everything correct tonight. Defensively, he's been a spark plug with 2 big interceptions. Offensively, he's led a very good offense with very few mistakes under his commission. We were treated to a nice halftime show by both bands. We'll get to that in a second. Third down situation, rolling right, heavy rush. Jamar Garrison closing in. And oh, what a shot by Tyrone Pruitt. Woo! But a good gain also by the Hilltoppers on the play. We'll wait for the spot to see if he's got a first down. What a pop by Tyrone Pruitt.
I have to give Taylor Brown a lot of credit for bouncing right up and jumping right up like no problem. Give me your best shot.
And he did. He's short of the first down by a couple of yards as Tyrone Pruitt delivered the mail on that one. That's the end of the third quarter of play, and at the end of 3 quarters, it is still 8-0. No scoring third quarter. You know, an interesting thought. I know you were on your way over the other side of the field at halftime. I happened to watch the show. Another great job, St. Louis Blues, and a few other very tasteful numbers by the Brockton Boxer band and color guard and majorettes and cheerleaders. They just do a great job, and they had this crowd going over here, which was very good. And then, of course, I watch on the other side, and the Hilltopper band came out, a smaller brigade. But, you know, it's interesting. A lot of high schools like to put on the play Our Town, put on by Thornton Wilder, I should say, written by Thornton Wilder. And again, I watched the Foxborough band doing Foxborough Sharon last week. And, of course, West Side Story making the comeback once again. Leonard Bernstein, Stephen Sondheim music. And, of course, they went through the whole rendition. It's 2 weeks in a row I've heard that. It's becoming more and more popular, the Jets song and all the rest. But 2 excellent performances here at halftime. Right now, as far as performances in the game, the defenses have taken over in this contest. And the high-scoring Brockton club has been really squandered tonight offensively, still looking for the magic. And this is 1 quarter. It could be their season, whether they go to the Super Bowl, if they win this football game. It really could come down to that, and you hate to say it, but New Bedford, which plays Durfee later on in the year, having a so-so year, but would definitely be underdogs to a very much improved club that Steve Winarski has offered this year, coming into this game 4-1, along with the Boxers at the same record.
Yes, Steve Winarski's done a great job with this Durfee High football team, turning the season around, as you said, Bob.
4th down situation. Here's a killer play right here. 4th and about 3.5 yards to go for Durfee. Again out of the eye. Give the ball to Kogler. He doesn't have it. And this ball's going to be turned over. Very conservative call that time. No way does he have the first down. The Brockton Boxers are going to get their hands on the football. And the defense steps up big to start our 4th quarter. Big play by the defense. Armin Colombo talks to his starting quarterback, senior Kershaw, Mike Kershaw, 14. His team trails it by 8. Let's see if the offense can take it down the field. They will take over at their own 23.
I believe the offense has to get a little bit more animated for them to move the football down the field.
Closer to the 22, correct myself. First down and 10. Twin receivers, Emmanuel and Whitaker up top. They'll work out of the eye and a first down. Handoff Jackson. Jackson, can he turn the corner? And he's forced out of bounds, but not before he has about 5 yards on the play. We'll wait for the spot. And, of course, by going out of bounds, he conserves that clock. And the clock on the side of the Hilltoppers right now.
Yeah, James Jackson, he's such a threat when he gets the ball. You almost have to hold your breath when he takes that turn to the outside because he's liable to break it.
He had that one more man to beat. Good defensive play. I did not get his number. Pickup of just over 5 yards on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 5 for the Boxers. Ball resting out at their 27.5-yard line. So they have some real estate to cover. And not much time to do it to try to tie this football game up at the least. Handoff to Bell. Bell trying to turn the corner. He does. And Bell is going to be very close. I believe he's got the first down. We'll wait for the official spot. They're all ready to, yep, he has the first down. They'll move the sticks.
Yeah,
So
nice
Bell,
run by Robert Bell.
as it was. He had to get outside number 27 that time, Danny Johnson, it looked like to me, and did so, turning the corner, picking up the first down. So the ball out to the 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Boxers. Key run by number 29. Clock moves on, 10:28 to play. Brockton in a must-score situation, I really believe here. Handoff Jackson. Jackson, a nice run over the 40, out close to the 41-yard line. Pickup of nearly 7 on that play.
That was a nice delayed draw.
Give him 6. They'll mark it right square on the 40. It was a nice delayed draw. Well conceived, and of course, a guy like Jackson, so quick to hit the hole with his first 2 steps. A delayed draw is just money in the bank with a kid like that. So they'll work on a 2nd and 4 situation. The ball directly below us on the Brockton 40-yard line. Handoff Jackson again. You go to the money man. Jackson, oh, nearly broke that one. Gets it out over the 45 to the 46. This will be a first down.
That was an excellent tackle by Taylor Brown, the quarterback, who's playing safety.
Yep.
As he's doing it all this evening, too.
I'll tell you, he doesn't make that tackle, and that could go a long
That's
distance,
right.
too. Timeout called by the Hilltoppers right here. They want to stop the clock and stop the momentum of the Brockton Boxers. So with a stoppage of play, when play does resume, the Boxers now realizing that the Hilltoppers are over on the sideline with the TO on the field. 9:35 to play is the stoppage. And the Boxers will come out and meet with Armin Colombo and his staff. The Boxers, of course, trailing 8-0. The only touchdown of the game, Justin Kogler back in the first quarter of play, a 2-yard run, a 2-point conversion. Taylor Brown finding Danny Brow, and he stepped it inside the flag and inside the pylon for the 2-point conversion. So different than St. John's in this ball game. You can't just say if we score we'll go for 2 and go for the whole enchilada. They have to score, go for 2 just to tie this football game. And 9:35 standing between the Boxers and a disappointing trip up Route 24. So they hope to capitalize. They have a good drive going right here with a couple nice first downs. Some big runs by the money back, James Jackson. You go to your big man, and the captain hopefully will take him to the promised land.
So true, Bob, and I'm sure Coach Colombo's hoping that the Boxers can maybe have a quick strike with 9 minutes left in the game.
That's what they need, and the defense can then take over and maybe get you the turnover. First down, inside handoff, it's Bell, and Bell breaks it through, and he's got it over the 50-yard line down to about the 48. A nice burst by Robert Bell, number 29. Good pickup on first down.
I think that caught the defense off guard, giving it to number 29, Robert Bell, as he was able to take advantage of the hole that was given to him.
Well, I'll tell you, they can't key on Jackson if number 29 carries the mail, and a couple nice carries in this drive by number 29, Robert Bell. And we have a 2nd down situation, 2nd and about 4 to go. Good pickup of 6 on that play. The ball now down to the 48-yard line. Handoff goes to Jackson. Jackson slips, gets away, and brings it down good for a first down to about the 41-yard line. This will be a Brockton first down. So they'll move the sticks once again. Brockton not doing anything fancy, trusting the ground attack as opposed to the air game right now. They want to push it in and get the 8 points.
Let's give some credit to that offensive line. They're opening up some holes now for the running backs here, and they're getting big chunks.
Some good holes. Nice drive around the left side for James Jackson on the last carry. First down and 10 from the 41. Give it to Jackson again. He just plugs his head down, drives ahead, still driving. Finally tackled in there by number 87, Jonathan Boyd, who goes both ways, a tight end as well as defensive end for Steve Warnarski's club. Gain of 2 on the play, down to the 39. It'll be a 2nd and 8.
Jonathan Boyd gave a nice bear hug tackle there to James Jackson.
I tell you, not without a second and third effort by number 20, looking for as many yards as he could get. 8 minutes to play in the ball game and the clock running. That's, of course, what you have to be very concerned about, and that's why this is an almost must-score drive right here, the way the clock is flying by. Brockton keeps it on the ground. They will chew up the clock. Dropping back to pass. Kershaw has a man over there, and is it? Oh, nearly intercepted. Nearly intercepted. Concepcion with a diving effort. That pass intended for number 80, Robert Charles Whitaker.
That pass did not have any zip on it. That's why the defensive back almost had that interception.
And that's a good point, too. It seemed to just float endlessly out there. But give Concepcion credit. Driving the ball on the ground, the Brockton Boxers thought they'd catch him napping, looking for the big play to Robert Whitaker, and nearly the interception by Concepcion to foil the plans. 3rd down and 8 situation. So Brockton, after the 2-yard pickup by Jackson, the incompletion, now find themselves with a big 3rd down call. Jackson, not enough room there. And it's going to be 4th down as he gets the ball down to about the 37-yard line. A pickup of 2, it'll bring up a 4th and 6 situation. So big decision time for Armin Colombo right here. I think you're going to see them go right here.
Yeah, this is a tough decision for Colombo.
I think you have to go for the ball. Go for the 1st down. Take a look, see if Archie Johnson, he's going to stay on the sidelines. No, or is he? No. No, they sent out the punting unit. The wrong guy in the sidelines. There's Kershaw, and Kershaw holding on to his hand. Kershaw.
Yeah, that last pass play, he was hit as he released the football. So
well,
he might be stinging a little bit.
It's his left hand that's stinging. No question about that. So let's see. Johnson will go in. Lines up at about midfield. And the clock moves on. 6:43 to go in the ball game. And let's see if this is a fake or the real thing. It is the real thing. Kicking the ball nicely, looking for the coffin corner here. The ball heading down near the goal line, and we have a touchback out to the 20. Did cross the end line, and the touchback will bring the ball out to the 20.
There's
nice
a flag
effort.
down too, Bob.
We'll check the marker. And was it on the return? Pushing
Holding.
the back. You know, it's on the return, though. Illegal block in the back. This will move it back to the 10-yard line. So half the distance back to the 10-yard line, but the possession will go over to the Hilltoppers, and they have 6:28 to protect to come away with the upset win. Taylor Brown gets the play, and we're waiting for the mark off from the official after the illegal block in the back. Not many people have left this game, that's for sure. As cold as it has become, still an outstanding game. The first battle of the Big Three Conference, and a lot at stake for this one. Back to the 10-yard line we'll go. And a 1st down and 10 from this point. And if you're a defensive enthusiast, this is the time you root for the big turnover to change things around, and Brockton will be looking for just that. Taylor Brown works out of the eye, and let's see what we have. Obvious contact coming across, of course, Jean Paul, I should say.
Yeah, Jean Paul gave the offensive lineman
Procedure.
how do you do.
Well, he was
hit.
right. He was pointing at the opposition. This will go back to the 5-yard line. So now it becomes real interesting. No time off the clock. Instead of the ball at the 20, after 2 more penalties against the home team, now it's back to the 5-yard line. The down remains the same at 1st down.
And there's a timeout.
Steve Wodarski already out on the field. He wants to have a word, I think, with the official. That's exactly it. And he's upset about the call. He thought it was Brockton that jumped offside and created the contact. So both head coaches have been upset at the head official for different reasons. But certainly Armin Colombo, I think, had a legitimate beef in the first half of this game. You'll have to go back and watch the action. We see it once, you see it once. But it certainly looked like a clean strip by Tyrone Pruitt, and that could still be a very big factor in this game, obviously. But right now, the Brockton Boxers have the Hilltoppers backed up right outside of their goal line at the 5-yard line, where it will be a first down and 15 call for Steve Winarski's club. Handoff goes to Kogler. Nothing doing there. LaFontaine, after maybe a gain of a couple yards at best, number 74 shuts it down. Second down and long coming up. Gene Paul also at the bottom of the pile, number 73. But of course, right now, Steve Winarski has one eye on the clock and one eye on the football field. He wants to try and nurse away the clock, which right now reads 6 minutes even to play. Mitsis will go wide. They're not throwing here, though. Here's Taylor Brown. No place to go. Great play, Jamar Garrison, along with LaFontaine. And Lance has started to play some heavy-duty football here in the second half.
Yeah, that Brockton High defensive line is, like you said, they're playing heavy-duty football here in the second half, penalty-free.
Brockton's going to call the timeout right here, I think. Yep, they do call the timeout. Everybody was saying stop the clock, but nobody was pointing which way the timeout was, which you would expect it would be the Boxers. Timeout on the field with 5:27 to play. When play resumes, you're looking at a third down and long situation. Now let's try and see where that ball is being marked down. Looks like it's at about the 6-yard line or so. Well, I don't have to tell you, obvious sports fans, about the importance of this play coming up on third down.
Yeah, this is a big third down play for Brockton.
This is one of those times you stand up, one guy has the D, the other guy has the fence and defense. This is a big one. It would force Kogler to kick the ball from his own end zone if the ball stays where it is. And of course, you doubt that Steve Winarski is going to take a chance and throw it up in the air right here. Taking a look, looking where Manny is. I don't see Manny there. Oh, Manny's, I see, he's over in the slot. Handoff goes to Brown. Brown gets some precious yards. Nice gain that time by Brown. Gets away from a short tackle and plunges ahead for about, well, I'd say about maybe 9 yards on the play. He'll get it out to around the 14, 15-yard line.
That was an excellent play by Taylor Brown.
He's had
excellent
the answers.
Effort.
He has really had the answers tonight. So that buys Kogler some precious field in which to try to kick the ball away from. Now, interestingly enough, Hill is going back. Brandon Hill, number 23, lined up at the 40-yard line of the Hilltoppers, not Whitaker. Whitaker is lined up looking like he might try and block the punt. No, that's Emmanuel. Single coverage. Brockton, this one slices off the foot of the kicker and goes right out of bounds. They're going to mark this at about the 30-yard line or so. We'll wait for the official mark. That ball sliced right off the side of the foot off Kogler. Let's see where they mark the football down. I think it's going to be inside the 30. And is at about the 29, just inside the 29-yard line. So here's your ball game. 4:42 to play. Brockton trails it by 8, but they do have a first down situation from inside the 29-yard line of Durfee.
Well, if there's a time when Kershaw needs to perfect his passing, if they do pass, it's now.
I think you're going to see Johnson one more time. You go with what gets you there. They'll give it to Johnson. Johnson heads outside, then takes it inside, and we have a marker down. Was there a face mask on the tackle? Or no, the Durfee's pointing towards Brockton. It's going to go against Brockton. Perhaps a holding call.
Not a timely penalty to happen right then and there for the Boxers.
No, not at all. Probably a hold where the marker was thrown. Yes, it is. Holding is the call. Push it back 10 yards. And that's 10 yards of precious real estate. They're going to move it back to the 38. Actually, I think that was pushed back about 9 yards officially. Brockton will take that. Really, they didn't push it back to full 10, but we'll take it. 4:33 on the clock running along here. Brockton still being shut out 8-0. The number 4 team in the Boston Globe poll, the Brockton Boxers, coming into this ball game 4-1. The top team, of course, BC High, in a battle against Xaverian tomorrow. Kershaw fakes, has a big rush, nice stiff arm, throws the ball down, and he's got Robert Bell. And Bell works his way out of bounds. Nice stiff arm that time on a charging number 87, Jonathan Boyd, who had a good shot at the quarterback, and then he completes the pass to Bell. Big time play.
Yeah, big time play by Kershaw to get away from that lineman there, because he had him. He had him, and Kershaw was able to knock him, push him out of the way, and complete the pass, roll out and complete the pass.
So from the 38, a gain of 14 yards down to the 24-yard line on a first down effort. It's going to bring up a second down. We'll call it about 6 yards to go for a Brockton first down. Original line of scrimmage closer to the 28-yard line. And by being knocked out of bounds, the clock stops with 4:05 to play. Handoff goes to Jackson. He's got a hole this time. He's at the 5. He could take it in. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
James Jackson gets Brockton on the scoreboard. 3:58 to go in the game. Big hole, and the senior captain brings the Boxers to within 2 points, 8-6.
James Jackson, he showed his speed again and his toughness to go out there, break some tackles, and just race down the sideline, almost untouched.
Leach and Numbrick, Jamar Garrison, Corey right side, giving James Jackson just enough real estate that he needed, and the big guy takes it from there.
Now we got a big play coming up, Bob.
Going for 2, and a timeout called by the Boxers. They will burn the timeout. Very strategic timeout here, because you might want to think about stopping the clock for your defense to try to get the ball back, but this play is that important. You can't mess it up. You have to make sure your kids understand. Good timeout by Armin Colombo.
That's a very good point, Bob, is like you said, to stop the clock and let the defense get, just in case they don't get the 2 points, and let the defense do their job.
Now, I must apologize only because I have not been faced with a situation. Should the Brockton Boxers cash in and it becomes 8-8, is there an overtime with regard to the conference game? Or if, let's say, this ends in a tie, just to hypothesize, if it ends in a tie and Brockton beats New Bedford and so does Durfee, who goes to the Super Bowl? Is it the last one who had gone? Is it the one who has not been for some time? Is that how they do it? I'm not quite sure. So I must apologize. I beg ignorance on that one, but we'll see how the game unfolds. There's still a lot of time remaining in this game, 3:58 to be exact. Brockton has called the timeout. The touchdown run, that time about 24 yards. We're going to give it for James Jackson, and you know, once he turned that corner and got into the secondary, nobody was going to bring number 20 down. So here comes the play.
Yes, you give James Jackson the ball enough, he is going to break something.
Everybody standing up for this one on both sides. And the Hilltoppers fans on their feet as well. A lot of noise down here in Fall River. Brockton goes for the 2-pointer. They'll work out of the eye. Bell the up man, and Jackson deep. Hand the ball. No, it's going to be a keeper. Throwing over in the corner, and good.
He got
good. It's Emmanuel. What a gadget play that was. 3 different fakes. First to Bell, then to Jackson, then the end around, and they find the successful conversion in the end zone to Emmanuel. We are tied at 8-8.
Let's give Coach Colombo credit for calling the timeout and acting to call that gutsy play, that trick play, as you said. It was to everybody, it seemed like, before it got out there to Emmanuel.
I want to tell you something. Mike Kershaw ran that play superbly. He really did. He had everybody guessing who's going to finally get the football, and Emmanuel was the guy who got it on his knees, clutching that football for the 2-point conversion, and we are tied 8-8.
Excellent execution by everybody, like you said, including the quarterback. Excellent execution.
It certainly was. And score the points. This Brockton crowd really into this ball game as the big band whoops it up down below. New life for the Brockton Boxers as we are tied 8-8. 3:58 to play in this game. And again, we really think that it will probably, if it does stay this way, end in a tie. I don't believe there is overtime for this conference game, but we're just guessing. But still a lot of football to go right here, and a lot of stoppages of the clock by both sides. Eric Ampuja has had a quiet night, but this will be a big kickoff for number 15, and the Brockton special teams hope to pin the Hilltoppers deep.
I tell you, Bobby, sure it's gotten a little bit warmer up here in the stands since Brockton scored that touchdown.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now this is what it's all about. Friday night football in New England. 8-8, 3:58 to go. Ampusha the kick. A line drive shot. Picked by an up man at the 30, and he goes straight down on the 32. So not much of a return after the short kick. Returning the ball that time was number 22, Cedric Carvalho. First down and 10 for the Hilltoppers, but now we're tied at 8-8.
And right now with Durfee having the football, it seems like 3 minutes and 52 seconds is a long time.
Yes, it is. And Brockton certainly hopes it's that way if they can stop, and their defense has been masterful here in the second half of play. In fact, for 3 quarters, almost 3 quarters, they have shut down the Durfee squad. First down and 10 from just outside the 32-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Taylor Brown has gone all the way at quarterback. Coburn is going nowhere. Actually, let's see. Up. He's spun around and dropped for a loss. Doesn't make it to the 30. Forward progress might give it to him.
I'll tell you, this defensive line has really rose to the occasion. That time, number 71, Roger was right in on that one. So it's a group effort out there on the line.
First time we called his name tonight. This line is really starting to step up. Jean-Paul LaFontat has done his thing. Loss of 2 in the play. It's going to be a second down and 12 situation. So that time they go to Manny Coburn, who's your go-to guy, and he can't crease the defense. Let's see what they call. Let's see if Steve Winarski will put the ball up. He will. Short pass over here is complete. Boyd has got a head of steam. He brings it into Brockton territory down to the 42-yard line. And wasn't that just what the doctor ordered for the Hilltoppers? Jonathan Boyd, the tight end, on a little slant pass, catches the ball and brings it into Boxer territory. They're going to mark it at the 41 and a first down.
Excellent play call by Durfee High.
Nice high percentage pass that time, and Taylor Brown finds number 87, and he breaks it free. We see a gain that time of, 29 yards on the play. Down to the Brockton 41-yard line. 2:43, and the clock is rolling along. We are tied 8-8, shivering but enjoying. Taylor Brown with one man on the backfield, and that's Kogler. Trips left. He'll go over there, look for Goulburn. Goulburn spins his way inside, and he is down at about the 36, a pickup of about 5 yards on the play. Good arm strength that time by Taylor Brown, and that's how you tell a good quarterback. Can he deliver that wide pass to the sideline?
Yes, indeed, he zipped it right over there to Manny.
Gain
he had to do in order for that play to work.
Gain of 5 on the play, a second down and 5 situation. We're under 2 minutes to go, 1:57 and counting. Durfee and Brockton having at it here in Fall River. Quarterback sneak, and very close to the first down, might be a little bit short, goes Taylor Brown. I've seen that play. I said it last week in a game I did. I've seen that play work wonders. Unbelievable how successful that play has been. You just tap the center, and off you go. It's going to be short of the first down.
He's off to the races on that one.
Now we're going to have a measurement. Official's going to bring it in. The clock is stopped with 1:34 to play. Now remember, Justin Kogler does all the kicking for the Hilltoppers. And of course right now it's too far to consider a field goal, but that could come into play. I was watching Ampusha. I did not really have that much of a chance to see their kicker kick field goals before the game. And of course going for a 2-point conversion, we have no idea how good a foot Justin Kogler has, but we'll keep that in mind in an 8-8 ball game. Little short of the first down. Third down and about a half a yard to go, maybe a little less, in 2-down territory. Quarterback sneak here, and I think he's got the first down. Depends on the mark, but from the spot where it looks like, should be a first down for the Hilltoppers, and that ball should be marked right around the 30-yard line.
Yeah, one key to this drive for Durfee High is I don't believe they've made any penalties coming down the ball field.
That's right, and there is the first down signal by the official. Just made it by about the length of a football or so. It's marked out actually at the 31-yard line, first down and 10. Gene Paul comes out of the ball game.
It's a real gut check for the defense. They really can't afford to give up too many more yards for Durfee High.
No, they can't, and the clock keeps rolling at 1:15 to play. Winarski could stop it a few more times. The pitch to Goburn. Goburn gets around Pruitt, but he's knocked out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. Good tackle by Whitaker once again, laying waste over there as he takes the sideline markers and takes Goburn along with him. Second nice knock out of bounds by Whitaker on number 89, Manny Goburn.
Good pursuit by Whitaker on that particular play. Unfortunately, the clock is stopped with 1 minute and 6 seconds on the clock.
Gain of about a half a yard on the play. We'll call it second down and maybe 9.5 to go to be generous. 8-8 your score. James Jackson, a 24-yard scamper. Emmanuel catches a 2-point conversion on a well-executed play by Mike Kershaw, and we are tied. 1:06 to go. The ball at the Brockton 30-yard line, a second and long. Rollout. Here's a smash. We have a fumble. That ball is loose. Brockton's got it. Brockton has it at the 40. What a smashing hit that time by Sean Bello. Sean Bello, I believe, yes it was, number 57, buried Taylor Brown, forcing the football, and I could not see who recovered, but Brockton has it on the 40-yard line. And listen to the fans on this side of the field as they smell it now. What a hit by Sean Bello, number 57, the linebacker, and you could see it coming.
That, my friends, was an All-American high school big-time hit there.
Yes, it was. We've had our share of hits tonight. Tyrone Pruitt, Robert Whitaker. I mean, there have been some monster hits by this Brockton Boxer club. Ball on the 40-yard line after the Bello hit and the recovery by the Brockton Boxers. So here we go. 58 seconds to go. Kershaw checks with the backfield. You know Eric Ampuja can be a factor if they can get the ball down there. Handoff to Whitaker on the end around. He's got a lot of room. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. Spinning around, knocked out at about the 5 or 6 yard line. Robert Whitaker, there's the end around, baby. We were waiting for it all night long. Armin Colombo calls it now.
Yes, Rob, we've been waiting for that play to happen all night.
Oh, yes.
The most opportune time.
Oh, yes.
Durfee High wasn't expecting it.
And the ball is marked down. It's going to be at about the 6 yard line. So now, not only do you think touchdown, you think number 15, Eric Ampuja, can win it for you with his foot. But Brockton definitely in the driver's seat. Boy, I'll tell you, that was a well-executed play. I really thought that Jackson had the ball. I'll tell you, I was waiting for the play, but I was sucked in. First down and goal from the 6. Kershaw with Bell and Jackson out of the eye. Give it to Jackson. Jackson, right side, spinning. He is going to be very close. There's a fumble. And Durfee has the ball. There was a fumble right outside the goal line, and Durfee has the fumble. A delayed call, a fumble. It looked like Jackson was winding his way for the score. And he coughs the ball up, and Durfee has recovered. That ball is being marked down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. Can you believe the reversal of fortunes in this game? And we're still tied at 8. Oh boy, that's crushing. That is absolutely crushing. What a... That's right. Unbelievable. I thought Jackson had the Golden Gate on his way in. But
it's tough to tell with our angle we're at.
We're way away. We're about 60 yards away, fans. And we get one look at it. Taylor Brown will just run it out. And right now, Armin Colombo watching the clock move along. 30 seconds. Brockton will call the timeout. I don't know how many stoppages. They may have one more, I believe. 30 seconds to go, and it has grown eerily quiet on the side of the field, and understandably so. After the tremendous electricity provided by Whitaker, the ball down to about the 6-yard line, maybe the 7, and it looked like Jackson had his way into the end zone, and the ball coughs up. Next thing you see are the guys in black and red jumping up and down.
Give a lot of credit to Durfee High for playing heads up on
that tremendous, ball. Tremendous. Forcing the senior to cough up the football in and of itself is amazing. 30 seconds to go in this ball game. This has been the perils of Pauline. Both clubs have been up and down, standing, wondering. And right now, a second down situation with 30 seconds to go. Taylor Brown and company will call a timeout. Timeout by the Hilltoppers to talk it over, because they can ill afford to make any kind of miscue, especially where they are in the football field.
Good point. The coach for Durfee doesn't want Durfee's offense to make any miscues. He wants to make sure that everything is executed properly and efficiently to keep this ball in their hands.
Well, I'm going to have to start with the new play schedule next week. That just blew away. Just turn around and my play card is gone. Timeout on the field, again called by the Hilltoppers, and just an unbelievable turn of events. Just when it looked like Brockton was on its way after an electrifying run on the play that every Brockton fan was waiting for, the end around a la the Washington Redskins, to the exciting Robert Charles Whitaker, who took it almost all the way down the field, winding and scrambling his way down to the 6. One play later, just a tremendous run. It looked like it took forever for James Jackson winding his way to get close to the end zone. It looked like he ran about 15 or 20 yards to me. But he coughs up the football, and the next thing you know, the Hilltoppers hop atop it. And when play resumes, you're looking at a second down and long situation, an 8-8 ball game here in Fall River that has had a little bit of everything, but has been tremendously suspenseful for the crowds. Taylor Brown has Steve Winarski's advice. Nothing fancy here. Hand the ball off straight into the pile. And Brockton will step in and exhaust another timeout, and that might just about do it. 24 seconds to play in this one. And of course, you step in to call the timeout, hoping that maybe there may be a miscue, a missnap. It has grown colder. These are young hands and young kids. Mistakes can be made. What a hit we had a few moments ago by Sean Bello. You cannot lose sight of that great defensive play by the linebacker, who's had an outstanding season for this club. And the roar that just came through this crowd like a freight train once Brockton recovered the fumble down below us at the 40. One play later, and Robert Charles Whitaker did his thing. I mean, it's had everything. Kogler will come on to the field, or stay on the field, and he'll be punting the ball away, and I'm sure Brockton will bring the house.
And as you remember last time, Bob, he didn't make a very good punt.
No, he didn't. He did shank that one. If he gets off less than a good effort this time, you still have Eric Ampuja down there, number 15.
Who does have a strong leg.
He sure does. So this game is not over yet. And 19 seconds for Steve Winarski could still be an eternity.
Now the question is, do you send everybody in for the block, or do you try to hold them back and try a run back?
Personally, I would go for the block. I really would. I'd send everybody in. Hopefully somebody might be able. I think your odds are better that way, though. You do have a guy like Whitaker or even Hill. At the same time, I personally would bring the house, hoping that your team would be hungry enough, or maybe there might be a high snap, which there has been on 2 different occasions. Any little factor like that can make a difference. Well, here it is, 4th down. They'll send back Whitaker. Brockton lines up. Here they come. And the kick is away, and it's a nice high end-over-end spiral that comes down, takes a nice big bounce. Whitaker will pick it up after a delay, and he's thrown down back at about the 40-yard line. 8 seconds to go in the ball game. Whitaker did what he had to try and turn the crowd on. He had to try and make the big play. He had no blockers, and he had 4 Hilltoppers staring him down the gut. But he picked up the ball, tried to head around the right side, and was immediately hurled down. Great special teams coverage. So here it is, just inside the 40-yard line. But this game, not over yet. Maybe one play, maybe two if you hurry. Now, the thing is, do you go for like maybe 20 to 30 yards down the field, hoping that you can set up Eric Ampuja for the field goal? Or do you go for broke and hope that maybe you can shoot it up there to Whitaker? We'll see. Emmanuel split out one side, Whitaker the other. Back they go. They'll throw the ball down here. Emmanuel has a shot at it. This could be interference. Let's see which way it may go. There is still 1 second on the clock. Now remember this, interference different from the NFL is not marked down at the spot of the foul.
I think they're going to call offensive interference.
It's offensive.
Yeah.
I thought it could have been Emmanuel. Yes, it is. I thought that could have been that way too. The Hilltopper crowd realizing this. Emmanuel trying to come back at the ball, actually interfered. And I think that was a good call. I wasn't sure which way it was going to go. This is that kind of, scene. Yes, it is. So you got 1 second. Now you go Hail Mary time in an 8-8 game. The ball comes back to the Brockton 45-yard line. Wow. Hail Mary and then some. You'll be hailing quite a few people on this one. This is going to be a major league toss. This is when you need Stephen Bishop. And I was at that game. I saw that one against the Colts. Mr. Simmons picked that ball off Armin Colombo, hoping for a miracle right now. That's what it's going to take. The ball on the Brockton 45-yard line. 1 second left to go in this ball game. Here it is. Handoff, end around, again, they'll go the reverse. Slowed up for the moment, Whitaker will be knocked out of bounds, and that will be the ball game. As the ball placed squarely at the 10-yard line, Brockton will go on offense. The horns, the bands, the fans, a lot of noise on the far side from the Hilltoppers to try and distract the Brockton Boxers. Bell and Jackson in the backfield. And the ball was handed off to Bell, and he has it down to about the 8-yard line. A 2nd down and 8 situation. Kershaw shaken up a little bit on that play.
Yes,
he took quite a pop.
Yes, he did. He's hurting a little bit.
Yes, he is hurting. Over to talk to Armin Colombo. Now it's gut check time for the offense. Brockton's going to call the timeout right here. And
Kershaw has to shake off whatever happened to him.
yeah, he was really, he got dinged on that play. Took quite a pop. 2nd down and 8 situation. Both teams will get a shot. They actually have the ball in the 7. It looks closer to the 8 from my vantage point. The Brockton band strikes it up. We're in overtime from Fall River. Durfee against Brockton. It doesn't get much better than this, folks, especially when you consider the importance of this football game. And the Brockton Boxers and Durfee Hilltoppers have given these fans every bit that their $3 were worth, or if you're lucky enough to be a student, maybe just $2. But this game is, as they say in the TV commercial, priceless. Brockton huddles on the sideline with head coach Armin Colombo and his staff. Steve Winarski and his troops with the defense on the far side. Our first attempt at overtime, Brockton with the ball, starting at the 10-yard line with 4 series of downs.
If there's any time that the Brockton line needs to step up, it's now. To make
No, right now, exactly right. Well, let's see what head coach Armin Colombo calls on a 2nd down situation. They gave the ball to Robert Bell on the 1st down carry. He picks up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and goal from the 8. And I'll tell you, it's not getting any warmer. Brockton after the timeout, a 2nd down and 8 situation. The band stops so they can hear the signals. Mike Kershaw in motion as Garrison goes over to the right side. This will be a play right. It's Jackson. Jackson, can he turn the corner? He is in. Touchdown! Touchdown, James Jackson! The Brockton Boxers have scored in overtime to make it 14-8.
That was determination by James Jackson, Sr. He was determined to make it into that end zone.
You know that right. There's no question. When Garrison came right side, it gave you a little indication that the train was coming right side, and the train has left the station, and it's 14-8 in favor of the Brockton Boxers. Eric Ampuja for the first time tonight to try the extra point. So the Brockton offense has done its thing. Eric Ampuja hopes to add the exclamation point. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So the teams come back up to the other end, and the Brockton offense now turns the momentum over to the defense. They lead it 15-8, or let's say they lead it 1-0. Really hard to say. This is the first time for me in this situation, but I tell you, I love the action.
Yes,
Great stuff.
Big test here. Big gut check for the Brockton High defense. They have basically got an A this whole second half. Well, actually, they've gotten an A since Durfee High scored that first touchdown. They basically shut out Durfee High most of this ball game. And
I'll tell you something else that's kind of interesting, too, as a little sidelight, Miles, is that they're lining the ball back up down here. So if you had a ticket in this section, you really won big tonight because all the action is right down here. They don't take the ball down the other end of the field. They're going to go right back out here, and now it's the defense that hopes to step up for a happy ride up Route 24. The song in the background, of course, the very famous Victory March for the University of Notre Dame at South Bend. And right now, these fans can relate to that. Their team up with a James Jackson 8-yard touchdown, Eric Ampuja as the PAT, and Brockton has done its thing. Here comes Taylor Brown on the offense for the Hilltoppers. They must score, and they must get at least 1 point to continue this game. Back to pass, throws over the middle. It is complete and a score. A score off a deflection. Robert Whitaker can't believe it. And unbelievable connection that time. Brow with the completion. Do they go for one or will they go for two? Steve Winarski will call a timeout to talk it over. Well, I'll tell you, you have to go back to the Zavurian game in all fairness. The touchdown catch by Garrison was a deflection. Garrison took it and ran like just the leader that he is into the end zone off a deflection. This time, Robert Whitaker got more than just a hand on the ball, but it deflects right to number 6, who does the juggling act, holds onto the ball, and to his credit, gets the score for the Toppers.
Yeah, excellent concentration by Danny Burrow. Excellent concentration by the senior.
Tremendous job. So Brow has converted. He has a 2-point conversion to his credit. He has caught a few passes. And right now, this game far from over. Will Brockton be facing a 1-pointer or a 2-pointer? Kogler is on. They're going to try and tie this football game, I believe. Or will they go for the win? We are in the midst of our first overtime. Kogler for the tie. If he is successful, we play on into a double overtime. If he fails, Brockton wins the football game. The snap, the kick is up. The kick is good. There was trouble on the snap. A great job by Taylor Brown to right that football for number 35 to kick it through. We will keep playing football in Fall River.
Yeah, Taylor Brown saved the day on that one. That wasn't a good snap, but Taylor Brown was able to get the ball, put it down.
It's a great play, a tremendous play by Taylor Brown. And we have had so many little chapters to this football game. Or is that it? Now they'll go to the other side of the field, I believe.
No, that's it.
No, that is it. That is the ball game. It is going to end up in a 15-15 tie. That's the ball game. Well, we're learning along with a lot of you fans. Unbelievable action. This game will end in a 15-15 tie. And you know, in many ways, although a disappointment for the Brockton Boxers because of the way the final drive ended up with a fumble, still, all in all, the to be perfectly fair, two teams that had at it and two teams that both deserve to win this game in a very different way, a very deserving tie. Hard for one of these teams to lose tonight, to be perfectly fair about it.
Yes, indeed, Bob. And going back to the ball game, I guess we have to look at those two plays. The key plays was the referee's quick whistle or whatever it was, where Brockton High stole the football, but they brought it back, and unfortunately James Jackson fumbled down there at the end zone with only 2 minutes, 3 seconds left in the game.
Well, it is an unfortunate play. The only thing that can be said, not to just dwell on that, the only thing that obviously can be said is that there were many chances for both teams to win this football game, particularly the Boxers in the final drive of the football contest. You couldn't ask for any more than these teams gave tonight. Just excitement galore. Both teams scored in the overtime. They did what they had to do. Brow scored on one play on a deflection that Robert Whitaker nearly had, knocked down, perhaps intercepted, but great presence of mind and concentration by number 6 to take it in the end zone. Then there's James Jackson. James Jackson bounces back, the leader that he is, the senior captain of this team, from his fumble that really just stopped the hearts of the Brockton fans. He takes it around the right side behind some blocking, was not to be denied, and of course Eric Ampusha adds the extra point. This game will end in a 15-15 tie. And Miles Jackson and I want to thank you fans for joining us. For Mike and Lori, myself, Bob Sondheim, we're cold, but we hope you fans enjoyed this ball game. We certainly did. Join us again next week as Pinkerton Academy comes to Marciano Stadium to take on the Brockton Boxers. The Boxers now 4-1-1 on the season. Also the Hilltoppers with the same slate. For the entire crew, Bob Sondheim saying good night, everybody.